our North High School District officials held a meeting Tuesday night to address the recent fentanyl overdoses on campus. Fentanyl is an opioid where a dose smaller than this penny I'm holding can kill you. And while this epidemic continues, the parents I spoke with say they want more action and transparency from the district.
My son, along with 2 other kids, overdosed the same Monday.
A heated meeting at North High Tuesday night as parents voiced frustration with the district after multiple overdoses have taken place.
The fact of the matter is that my son was in the middle of a classroom here, overdosing, and nobody came to his rescue.
Jennifer Essex is just one of those parents whose son has been affected by fentanyl, and she says the school is not doing enough to save children's lives.
My son could have lost his life under that desk. Yeah. That is ridiculous. And then he sends out a notice 3 days after my son almost lost his life saying that nothing is going on at this school. So that what? There were more overdoses after that Monday.
And she is not alone. Shelly Ross also attended the meeting in support of other parents because she knows what it's like to lose a child to this drug.
My son Cameron died of a fentanyl overdose. He had a drug problem. He also had it in high school. He died at 22.
Ross adds it was only 2 years ago in 2020 when her son died. And she says if more isn't done, this could happen to another parent.
I'm a grandmother. This isn't going to go away. You know, I don't have a student here at North High, but I want to support these poor parents that are trying to fight it. We all need to come together because our children are dying.
But parents within KHSD say they want more communication and transparency from the district. So I asked the North High principal how will he address parents' concerns.
You guys send out emails all the time for COVID-19, but it took a while to send an email about an overdose. Is there a new plan for that, and what's your response?
Yeah, we try to be responsive when we start to hear that there are issues on our campus that that parents are concerned about. The first time that we became aware of the issues on social media was on Thursday, and we tried to send a response out on Thursday that addressed those issues. I gave the best information that I had at the time on Thursday afternoon, but when I became aware of new information specific to the use of opioids, we released a new statement on Friday.
And Scott Odlin with KHSD says the district is continuing to find new ways to protect students.
Working on what resources we have available, and we're always looking to get good suggestions, and we have a safety team that meets, and we're always looking to adjust anything we can in terms of student safety on our campuses and resources available to help those with substance abuse.
But Cherie Gilmore, a parent within the district, says this is a real problem and more needs to be done to combat it. As North High School staff have not administered Narcan on campus, but only first responders did.
Like, fentanyl is real and it's killing our kids. And there's been over 10 ambulance rides out of this school with ODs. Not one person at this school administered Narcan to any of them. Not one teacher walked any of these kids that were ODing up to the office. And not one teacher followed up with a parent to make sure their child was okay.
The district says every school is equipped with Narcan, this life-saving emergency overdose treatment, and all you have to do is spray it and it can save a life. They've also administered Narcan 5 times so far this year throughout the district. In Oildale, Brianna Willis, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
The Amber Alert came to a dramatic and deadly conclusion on the 15 freeway in Hesperia this morning with a massive exchange of gunfire. The suspect's truck, now riddled with bullet holes, the front and side windows shot out.
There was gunshots, and all of a sudden we noticed there, 8 cops shooting down. Everybody down, everybody on the floor.
It all started in a Fontana neighborhood around 7:30 Monday morning when Anthony Graziano was suspected of shooting his wife, killing her, then taking off with his daughter, 15-year-old Savannah Graziano. An Amber Alert was issued, and then earlier today, someone called 911 to report seeing a vehicle matching the description of the suspect's white truck southbound on the 15 freeway near Barstow.
As the deputies arrive, they encounter the suspect vehicle. A pursuit ensues, and as a result of that pursuit, the suspect immediately starts firing at our deputies, putting several rounds through the windshield of the patrol unit.
The pursuit came to an end in Hesperia with the suspect vehicle going off the road.
At which time a subject exits the passenger side of the vehicle wearing tactical gear. That subject starts to run towards sheriff's deputies, and during the gunfire goes down.
That passenger is believed to be 15-year-old Savannah Graziano, who was pronounced dead this morning. Anthony Graziano was also killed. Even though the only weapon found in the truck was with him, detectives say it's possible he wasn't the only one firing.
There may be some information that the passenger was involved in firing back at the deputies, and we're still trying to confirm that at this point.
You got to understand, when you're walking these trails, the dangers that you're walking into.
Francisco Salas walks the trails above Pico Canyon Park and Stevenson Ranch every morning after dropping his son off at school across the street. But he won't be doing it tomorrow. The park is now closed after a 7-year-old was attacked by a mountain lion there on Monday.
The young boy, about 7-year-old boy, was walking up some stairs and was attacked from behind by a mountain lion and bitten in the buttocks.
That child will be okay. His bite wounds were swabbed for DNA to try and match it to a known cat. In the meantime, authorities are now searching for it. Air 7 HD was overhead as they attempted to lure the mountain lion out of the hills while the park is still closed.
And in the trap, we place a mountain lion's favorite food, which is a deer carcass.
If it is found and the DNA matches up, there is a good chance one of these Southern California treasures will have to be killed.
Everything we do in every part of our mission is to better help wildlife and people coexist. And having a situation like this where wild animals start attacking, especially small children, that's a super difficult part of our job.
Residents in the Stevenson Ranch area have reported seeing a cougar in recent weeks and worried about their pets, but few thought it would ever go after a human.
That's really bad because I have always seen a lot of kids and even the youngsters who go walk and all that.
Are you going to do anything different now, or are you going to stay away?
I'm not going to walk there. Yeah.
No.
I'll stay out on the street.
It still terrifies me because it could happen to me. You know, it could happen to anybody out here.
Hurricane Ian tearing through Florida, making landfall on the southwest coast as a Category 4 storm. Winds clocking in over 150 miles per hour, lashing the coast. ABC's Ginger Z in Fort Myers as the storm comes ashore.
Our ears are popping. We are in the eye wall of Hurricane Ian. The winds have now come on shore. That little house at the end of the dock is about to go. That water, so powerful.
155-mile-an-hour winds are incredibly dangerous. There will be debris in the air and flooding powerful enough to move cars around. If you're in those Southwest Florida counties, you need to be sheltering in place.
In Naples, fierce winds taking out power lines. Watch as sparks fly during a heavy gust. But it's this eerie sight that has areas from Tampa to Sarasota on high alert. Water receding from the Tampa Bay, Manatee River, and Charlotte Harbor as Ian draws it in, all before spewing it out again as that dangerous 5 to 12-foot storm surge.
Don't go out there. It's so dangerous to be out there. So even if you see the water receding, it's not the time to go out there and look at it.
And you can even see the storm surge coming in on Sanibel Island, the water rising and flooding streets in a matter of minutes. As Ian creeps along, more than 2.5 million Floridians under evacuation orders. 30,000 workers are on standby to restore electricity after the storm. President Joe Biden promising federal support.
We'll be there to help you clean up and rebuild, to help you get Florida get moving again. And we'll be there at every step of the way.
And several bridges here in the Tampa area are now closed. More than 200,000 people across the state without power. And officials expect that number to grow as Hurricane Ian continues to lash the state. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Tampa, Florida.
See that helicopter? The man at the controls is Chris Hartnell, San Diego Fire Rescue Department's first full-time pilot hired back in 2005, and even has badge number 1 to show it.
I met a gal and got married, and was flying in Canada at the time and came to the United States to get married and start a new career.
Having a person like Chris here for so long really brings consistency to the department.
But that's not all that makes Hartnell one of San Diego Fire Rescue's most prized assets. You see, his journey to the flight deck began back in 1998 when he moved to the United States from Canada. From aerial firefighting missions to cliff and mountainside rescues, Hartnell flies it all. But that wasn't enough.
I had no idea that I would be sworn in that day, and I was.
For about 20 years, Chris Hartnell served the San Diego community as a citizen of Canada. But that all changed at a naturalization ceremony for Chris to officially become a U.S. citizen.
You know, I felt very patriotic. I felt American even though I wasn't. Now I can proudly say that I am an American citizen, and I'm very, very excited about it.
And what is Chris going to do now that he's a U.S. citizen?
Well, I've already registered to vote. That was the very first thing I did, and that's important to me. And then I have to get my passport.